People always said running away was a coward's choice. But what if staying felt like suffocating? What if loving him was the kind of fire that burned me alive? 2 years ago, I made the biggest mistake of my life. I left without a word, leaving him standing in the rain with questions I was too afraid to answer. Now I'm back in my hometown, the same quiet corner of America where nothing ever changes. Except us. The streets are familiar, but my heart isn't. I left a piece of myself with him, and I've been hollow ever since. His name is Ryan Carter, the boy I never confessed to, the boy who deserved better than my silence. I was 20 when I left, chasing a dream that felt more like an escape than ambition. College in New York was my excuse, but the truth was uglier. I was terrified of how much he meant to me, of how my hands ached to touch him, of how one confession could shatter everything we had. We were best friends since childhood, inseparable. Everyone joked we were brothers. But brothers don't look at each other the way I looked at him. And now, standing outside the diner where he used to work, I can feel my chest tighten with every step closer. The bell above the door jingles, and there he is, older, sharper, more beautiful than memory allowed. His hair a little longer, his shoulders broader, his presence overwhelming. He looks up, our eyes meet, and for a heartbeat time stops. Ethan. He says my name like it's both a prayer and a curse. I want to laugh, to cry, to run, to stay. God, I want to touch him. But his expression hardens, and I know 2 years is a long time to wait for someone who never promised to return. You're back, he says, flat, guarded. No smile, no warmth. I am. My voice cracks, betraying me. The silence between us is unbearable. Once it used to be filled with easy jokes and shared secrets. Now it's heavy with everything unsaid. I glance at the empty booth by the window where we used to sit for hours, sharing fries, making plans for a future I abandoned. Can we talk? Ryan's jaw clenches. For a moment, I think he'll tell me to leave, that I don't belong here anymore. But then he nods, curtly, and slides into the booth. I follow, heart pounding. You look different, I say, because I'm too much of a coward to say what I really mean. You look incredible, you look like home, you look like everything I've missed. People change, he says simply, not meeting my eyes. I swallow hard. Do they? His gaze finally snaps to mine, sharp and cutting. Don't act like you know. You weren't here. The words hit harder than I expect. I want to explain, to spill every reason I ran. Every night I stayed awake in New York thinking of him. But excuses feel cheap. He deserved honesty back then, not now, not too late. Ryan, I don't. He interrupts, voice low but firm. Don't say you're sorry. You left. That's it. I bite my lip, shame flooding me. Maybe this was a mistake. Maybe coming back, hoping he still cared, was selfish. But as I look at him, at the storm in his eyes, I know one truth: I can't leave again without telling him everything. I was scared. I whisper. Scared of what I felt for you. Scared that if I told you, I'd lose you. He freezes. The words hang in the air, fragile, dangerous. Finally, his eyes soften, just a little. You think not telling me didn't cost us anything? The diner suddenly feels too small, too suffocating. Memories press against the walls. Laughter, midnight milkshakes, his hand brushing mine across the table. I can't breathe. I need him to understand. I thought leaving would fix it, I admit. But it only made me realize. You're the only thing I can't run from. His lips part, but no words come. He just stares at me, and for the first time I see the pain I caused draw, unhidden. The bell above the door rings again, and someone calls his name from the counter. He looks away, breaking whatever fragile connection we had. I have to get back to work. And just like that, he stands, leaving me in the booth with my heart splintering all over again. But before he walks away completely, he pauses. His hand rests on the back of the booth, knuckles white. Without turning, he says softly, "If you really mean what you said, prove it." Then he's gone, disappearing behind the counter, leaving me shaken but alive with something I haven't felt in years: hope. For the first time since I left, I know this isn't over. The next days were torture. Every time I saw Ryan across Tone at the diner, on Main Street, even once outside the library, he carried the same armor. A polite nod, a brief glance, then silence. He hadn't shut me out completely, but he hadn't let me in either. Couldn't sleep. Memories clawed at me. Nights spent on the hood of his old car, sharing secrets under the stars. We used to dream about leaving this town, about going anywhere together. And then I left without him. Prove it, he'd said. But how? The answer came one late afternoon. The local fair had rolled into town, just like it did every summer. When we were kids, Ryan and I never missed it to ride the Ferris wheel until the operator kicked us off, eat corn dogs until we were sick. I knew he'd be there. Some habits never die. And I was right. I spotted him near the game booths, arms crossed, watching kids toss rings onto bottles. The fading sunlight painted him gold, and for a second I just stood there, drinking him in. My chest tightened. God, he was beautiful. When he noticed me, his face hardened, but he didn't walk away. That was all the invitation I needed. I'm not here to run, I said, stepping closer. My voice shook, but I forced the words out. I need you to know I meant what I said. I was scared of loving you, but I'm more scared of a life without you. People brushed past us, laughter and music filling the air, but all I saw was him. Ryan's eyes searched mine, like he was testing every word for cracks. Then, with a quiet sigh, he said, "You can't just say things like that and expect me to forget the last 2 years." "I don't want you to forget," I said, my chest aching. "I want you to forgive me. I want to earn you back, every day, for as long as it takes." His lips pressed into a thin line. For a moment, I thought he'd walk away again. But then he turned, jerking his head toward the Ferris wheel. "Come on." We rode in silence at first, the small town stretching below us as the wheel climbed higher. My palms were sweaty, heart racing, every creak of the metal making me more aware of how close we were in the tiny cart. Finally, at the very top, Ryan spoke. "Do you know what it felt like?" His voice was quiet, almost swallowed by the wind. "Watching you leave without a word? I thought I wasn't enough. I thought I'd made it all up in my head." I turned toward him, throat tight. "You were always enough. You're the only thing that's ever been enough." His jaw trembled, and for the first time, I saw the crack in his armor. I reached out, my hand hovering near his, terrified but desperate. I should have said it back then, but I'll say it now. "Ryan Carter, I'm in love with you." The words felt like setting fire to everything inside me, scary, dangerous, but freeing. For a long, breathless moment, he just stared, and then, slowly, his hand covered mine. Warm, solid, real. "Damn you, Ethan," he whispered, eyes shining. "You make everything so damn complicated." And then his lips were on mine. It wasn't gentle. It wasn't careful. It was 2 years of silence, of pain, of longing, colliding all at once. The world spun beneath us, fireworks bursting from the fairground below. But all I felt was him, his mouth, his breath, his hand gripping mine like he'd never let go again. When we finally broke apart, he rested his forehead against mine. "You don't get to run anymore," he said, voice rough. "I won't," I promised, and for the first time I meant it. The Ferris wheel creaked, beginning its descent. But I didn't care. We were already soaring. Later, as we walked through the fairgrounds side by side, our shoulders brushed, and Ryan reached out just barely, fingers slipping into mine. A simple touch, but it was everything. 2 years of fear, of silence, of waiting, all of it melted in that single moment. Because finally, after all this time, I wasn't running. I was home, and he was still there, waiting. Thank you for listening. Don't forget to like and subscribe to stay updated with the latest videos.